Welcome back. Well, let's discuss the pharmaceutical space. Like we mentioned just some time ago, Cipla is at a fresh 52-week low. There is concerns about their Indore facility and key drugs such as Advair generic hitting the market. To talk more about it, we have Vishal Manchanda, who's the pharma analyst at Systematix Group, joining in to discuss this. Vishal, hi, welcome to the show. Cipla is at a fresh 52-week low. According to you, what is the severity of those 8 observations which has been issued to the Indore facility?
Correct. So these observations were pretty kind of not what we have seen in the past. So these observations are much more serious in nature. So there are observations that point to sterility not being assured because there were media validation related issues. Media fill validation related issues. Apart from that, the more important observation was customer complaints. There were kind of disproportionate customer complaints seen for a product, and these were not adequate. These were not kind of investigated into as they need to be. So these, I think, are the 2 primary observations. So I think sterility and customer complaints, these are 2 areas which pose which I think are very serious in nature, and hence a warning letter is probably kind of a likely outcome here, or an OAI status is a likely outcome. So that should actually lead to approvals.
So Vishal, what kind of approvals were pending from this particular plant? If you're expecting a warning letter, of course, those approvals won't come through. What were the big approvals that Cipla was expecting here?
So I think apart from Advair, which probably is from this plant, they should also have other respiratory filings from the plant. Based on what we understand, among the respiratory filings that Cipla has, one is a product called QR, and another is Flovent. So put together, these 2 products would be about $300 million in annual sales in the US. However, we have not been forecasting sales from the other 2 opportunities, Flovent and QR, but we were estimating contribution from Advair, which should not come through.
Right.
Having said that, I think the stock price has corrected quite steeply. Probably it's corrected more than what it needs to account for the delay in approval.
Right. I think you anticipated my question. I just wanted to know, with the correction that we saw about 12% this month itself, in rather the last 1 month, how much of that is priced in? What kind of changes have you made to your estimates on Advair and all the other drugs that you spoke about in specific?
So I'm yet to put out a change in estimates, but we have currently been modeling around $75 million in sales from generic Advair in FY25. So that potentially is at risk now, but it might get delayed, but it should certainly come through. So once this plant is sorted out, and generic Advair as an opportunity will not decline in size. It should remain as important even 1 year going forward.
Okay.
1 year or 2 years going forward. So I think the opportunity would remain relevant. Only thing is Cipla needs to kind of get this plant sorted out.
Okay, all right. So the opportunity would still remain relevant for Advair generic. But what is your thought on the larger picture that you're seeing for Cipla, considering that the Goa facility and now possibly the Indore facility would be under the regulatory scanner?
Yeah, so I think we never anticipated such kind of issues coming out of a Cipla facility, because they have pretty much been clean, except for the Goa facility, wherein they have been again facing issues. So probably, I don't know why we are getting to see these compliance issues coming in again. We were kind of better off some time back, wherein these issues were not really a concern. But I think probably there is some, I would say there is some senior management not being able to give the proper oversight in these facilities. So probably the local manufacturing plants are not fully taking care of compliance as they need to.
Okay, so that is something which is important to track, the US FDA actions and what is done at the ground level to ensure there is compliance as well. Dr. Reddy's, Vishal, I wanted to check on that because they did make an acquisition. What do you make of this one? What kind of portfolio addition will they see here? What is the opportunity?
So if I look at the acquisition, they bought out about $110 million in annual sales for $90 million. However, this $110 million sales has been declining. So if I look at the latest number for the portfolio that they acquired has declined. So they reported, Main Pharma reported their second half financials day before yesterday, and that reflected a decline in the base portfolio that Dr. Reddy has acquired. But I think even after, if I incorporate the impact of decline and also look at the pipeline assets that they get, so not pipeline assets, but some assets that they have approval for, but yet to reflect in the sales number. Like one of them is generic URA. So all put together, I think they would probably be able to recover what they have paid for in the next 3 to 4 years. So overall, an attractive acquisition, and it's better to acquire assets in the US when everything is in distress, and this probably is the right time to boost up one's portfolio. And I would also believe the acquisition price would be below the net replacement value. So what Dr. Reddy's would have had to spend in terms of creating this portfolio, they would have spent much lower in buying these assets out. So
okay, if you had
my
to
sense is it's a
Vishal, if you just had to quickly leave us with a one-word answer with the target price of your top pick within the pharmaceutical and healthcare space now?
So Sun Pharma remains our top pick, wherein we think there's a structural story. Sorry?
Okay, all right, Vishal, we're going to leave it on that note, but thanks very much for joining in and giving us your perspective on stocks which have been in focus, which is Cipla and Dr. Reddy's in the past couple of trading sessions. Sun Pharma continues to be their top pick within the pharma space. Time for a break now. Aditya Agarwal will join in to talk about technicals. Stay tuned.